Hello everyone. This week's Parsha is Parashat Vayak'hel Pekude. We have double Parsha. And also, this week we're going to read the second Sefer Torah. We're going to take out the second Sefer Torah and we're going to read Parashat Chodesh. And the reason why we read Parashat Chodesh, because Rosh Chodesh Nisan will be coming up this Sunday. Will be Rosh Chodesh Nisan, and usually right before Shabbat, before Rosh Chodesh Nisan, we read Parashat Chodesh, which is about the month of Nisan. It's about the Korban Pesach. It's about the first month. The first Jewish month is considered to be Chodesh Nisan. So Rosh Chodesh Nisan will be hopefully this coming up Sunday. Now, in this week's Parsha, like I said, it's a double Parsha, Vayak'hel and Pekude, and hopefully with this we will finish Sefer Shemot, and next week we will begin, next Shabbat we will begin Sefer Vayikra. Now, so in this week's Parsha, it talks about the building of the Mishkan. They finish building the vessels of the Mishkan, and now they had to assemble the Mishkan. They had to put together the Mishkan. So the pasuk says, "Vayaviu et hamishkan el Moshe et haohel ve'et kol kelav," which means that they brought the Mishkan to Moshe, the tent and all its vessels. Now, according to the Midrash is something very interesting. Jewish people, they tried to put the boards together, but the boards were very heavy, and they couldn't put it together. They couldn't assemble the Mishkan. They couldn't assemble the boards and the walls and everything else. It was very, very heavy. So and every time they tried, it's kept the walls kept toppling down. So what they did was, they took all the boards and they brought everything to Moshe, and Hashem made a miracle. Moshe was able to put together the whole Mishkan. Hashem gave him that special strength, and he was able to put everything together by himself. Now, if we look carefully, what does the Torah say? The Torah says the Jewish people brought the Mishkan to Moshe. One second, they didn't bring the Mishkan to Moshe. They brought the material, and the Moshe was able to put it together. So the Torah should have said, and the Jewish people brought the material to Moshe, and Moshe was able to put it together, to assemble it. Why does the Torah say that the Jewish people brought the Mishkan to Moshe? Now, what's interesting is the continuation of this Midrash. The Midrash says that the Midrash quotes a Mishlei, about this incident that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to put it together. So it quotes a pasuk from the Mishlei. It says, "Oz vehadar levusha, v'tischak leyom acharon," which means might, a strength, and splendor, and splendor are her garments, and she will rejoice on the final day. Now, and the Midrash goes on, and he brings like a story. It says Rav Abahu, his neshama, like he died or something happened to him, and his neshama went to Shamayim, and then when his neshama came back to him, so what happened was, he came back and he says, "Wow," he says, "I saw that all the reward that I will receive for doing all the good deeds that I have done. I thought that I was doing everything in vain, just like this. But now I see I'm going to get great reward for what I am doing." So the question that we should ask on this Midrash: what's the point of this pasuk? Why are you bringing this pasuk that a might and splendor are her garments, and she will rejoice on the final day, and bringing this story? And also the question is, why would Rav Abahu think that he would not get reward? He learned Torah the whole time. He did so many mitzvot. He learned so much Torah. Why wouldn't he get reward in the final day? In Olam Haba. So why was he thinking that he would not get reward? And what was the connection to the pasuk of bringing this to the pasuk that Moshe Rabbeinu was able to assemble it himself, like and that the Jewish people brought the Mishkan. Like, what's the connection to all this? Like, what is Midrash trying to teach us? So Rav Shlomo Breuer, he explains. He says like this. To answer all this, Rav Shlomo Breuer says that Judaism is a deed-oriented religion, which means from the morning, till until we go to sleep, we have to do mitzvot. We constantly have to do mitzvot. It's not enough to say I'm a Jew at heart. I don't have to keep any mitzvot. I'm a Jew at heart. I know that I'm Jewish. It's not enough. That's not enough to be a Jewish. It's a Jew, meaning a Judaism, is a deed-oriented, religion. From the morning that we wake up, we say Modani, we say the tefillot, we put on tefillin, we put on tzitzit, we put on tefillin, we do netilat yadayim, we learn Torah, we do mitzvot. Constantly we have to do, which means doing. Torah wants us to do. Hashem wants us to do mitzvot. That's why He gave us mitzvot. That's part of being a Jew. The Judaism is doing. It's not just believing that I'm a Jew at heart. It's not. Our religion is not a philosophy. Philosophically, I believe about Judaism. No, it's not enough just to believe. It's a person has to do. He has to do. He has to give tzedakah. He has to do chesed. He has to put on tefillin. He has to do mitzvot. Our religion is about doing. But at the same time, however, the intent also plays a great role. For example, let's say if someone, he wanted to do certain mitzvah, but it was prevented, prevented by certain circumstance beyond his control. So then it will be considered like he did that act, like as though he did that mitzvah, and he will be rewarded for that mitzvah. Why? Because he wanted to do the mitzvah. He was trying to do the mitzvah. He was trying, but for some reason beyond his control, because of the certain circumstances, he could not do that mitzvah. But will he get rewarded for that? Even though he didn't do the mitzvah, yes, he will get rewarded. Why? Because as long as a Jew puts effort, he puts sincere effort, he's rewarded for his effort, even though he was not successful. Hashem considers his effort as deeds. And even though he did not get results, Hashem wants us to put in effort. It's enough to put in effort, but you have to, of course, it has to be sincere effort. Even though you did not get right results, you did not get the result that you wanted, still the effort is considered. A person will get reward just putting effort. So now we could understand Rav Abau. Now, what happened with Rav Abau? Rav Abau, he his neshama went to Shamayim, and he saw that he's being rewarded. He saw all the reward. Now, what did he see reward for? Not for learning Torah or doing mitzvot. No, he saw a reward just for putting effort. That he just put in effort, and even though sometimes he put in effort and he did not get the results, even though he intended to do, and he put in effort and he tried, but there was no results. And he did not get to the result, but still he saw that he will get rewarded in Olam Haba, and that's why Rav Abau, it says he rejoiced on the final day, which means he will rejoice in Olam Haba. In Olam Haba, which means after a person passes away, after 120 years, a person will get reward for the effort, even though he did not get. Even though there was no result. So the same thing happened by the Mishkan. When the Jewish people, when it came time to assemble the Mishkan. Jewish people tried and tried and tried, and they put in so much effort. They toiled, they sweated, yeah. They tried, but every time they picked it up, it was too heavy, or they tried this way, they tried that, and every time it fell down, the boards fell, and they couldn't. So they brought it to Moshe, but the Torah says, because they put in effort, because they tried, because they sincerely tried. It's not like they tried. They say they tried one time and it didn't work. They said, okay, that's it. I'm not trying anymore. No, they tried hard, and they tried and they tried and they tried, and it did not work. Oh, they saw they did not work, so they came to Moshe. But the Torah considers it as though they built the Mishkan, as though they assembled the Mishkan, because they put in effort. Because they put in effort. And that's why Torah says, and they brought the Mishkan to Moshe. Even though they didn't bring the Mishkan, they only brought the plaques and the, they only brought the material. No, but it's considered to be as though they brought it to Moshe. So what do we learn from here? Sometimes a person, he intends to do mitzvah. He wants to do mitzvah, and he tries. Okay, the result, it did not work out. Let's say he wanted to help someone. He tried, he put in the phone calls, and so you shouldn't think, oh, you know what, I just wasted my time making all those phone calls or trying to travel to this place and that place. No, for putting effort to do a mitzvah, even though at the end he couldn't do that mitzvah, he will be rewarded. He will be rewarded. It's as though he did that mitzvah. It's considered to be like he did this mitzvah. Everyone should have a great Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.